Go Mike Podcast, where the mic is go, and this is a podcast. I'm your host, Mark Paul, and today we got Officer Tatum. I came across Officer Tatum's YouTube channel because he has a video entitled "I Was Wrong About Ahmaud Arbery," and it's just like any compelling title. I was like, I wonder what he was wrong about, so I clicked in it, and apparently he calls himself clickbaiting us to get us to come in and watch it, which it worked on me. So hey, you did your job, it worked. But he gives this vague interpretation of Georgia law, and I believe with him being a police officer, if he's really a police officer, that he should probably consider the whole language of the law and not just taking out a piece of it just to fit his narrative. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over to Mr. Officer Tatum. There he is, Officer Tatum. I don't know what state he's from. I just came across him today, and then I was like, he's just telling half the truth, sounds like. Well, let's go ahead and let's start. Let's meet Officer Tatum.
Tatum Store, the Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. Y'all know what it is. Let's get into this.
Nigga, what the hell you just say?
I like to clickbait y'all sometimes, so I said I was wrong, but I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, or you just like want to just tell half the truth just to fit your narrative. Well, let's continue.
There's nuances to the Ahmaud Arbery's case that I think could get Travis McMichael and them all in trouble, and
nuances, or did some facts come out that you didn't consider before you made whatever statement you made, making you title this "You Was Wrong," knowing people was gonna click in it, to see what you said you was wrong about. Well, let's continue.
From the onset that according to the law, and I'm just going to give a quick synopsis, it's not going to take long.
According to the law, and he said he's going to give a quick synopsis. He probably shouldn't give a quick synopsis on the law. He should probably give a full synopsis on the law. But let's continue.
According to the law, I don't believe that the Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and Roddy Bryant should be convicted. I think they should be found not guilty. Here's why.
Why, sir? It's because you're an officer and you just looking out for whatever type of views you officers have or something. So let's see what you got to say.
According to Georgia law, and a lot of people get this confused. I don't know why. They think it's probable cause or whatever.
He said a lot of people get it confused, but let's continue. He's trying to confuse people a little more, but let's go.
The rest, as a private citizen, is probable suspicion. So they only have to have probable suspicion that a person committed a felony crime.
He says that they only have to have probable suspicion that they committed a felony crime. So let me pull up Georgia law on here real quick. Let me find it real brief. Yeah, here it is. Officer Tatum says that all they need is probable suspicion to make a citizen's arrest. But Georgia law clearly states a private person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence, meaning that person have to see that person commit that offense, or within his immediate knowledge. My interpretation on that is someone saying, hey, this is the person that stole or this is the person that did this, stop him, or immediate knowledge, or you seen him do something beforehand and you seen him again and it's like, hey, no, you did this a while ago, or something to that nature. And then it continues and say, if the offense is a felony, so a person have to commit a felony offense in the presence of a person, or they have to have immediate knowledge that a felony offense has occurred. That's what I'm reading from that. Officer Tatum didn't mention none of that in what he just said. He just said all they need is probable suspicion. And with him being an officer, he needs to learn how to read the whole law and not half the law, you know? And then he really didn't even read half the law. He just read the end of the law. And then it says if the offense is a felony and the offender is escaping or attempting to escape, a private person may arrest upon reasonable and probable grounds of suspicion. See, they have to have knowledge of a felony crime has been committed in order for them to do a citizen's arrest. But Mr. Officer Tatum over here, he's just making it seem like all they need is probable suspicion. So basically, you can pick some random person out on the street just because they look however way they look, and you can just, you know, that's probable suspicion. No, the Georgia law clearly states that you have to have either immediate knowledge or it has to be done in the presence of them. But Mr. Officer Tatum over here, he didn't make that clear. But let's continue.
Suspicion of a felony crime. A felony crime of burglary, which is what they're accusing Ahmaud Arbery of, is that a person enters an occupied or unoccupied structure with the intent.
It says nothing about an intent in entering a unoccupied dwelling is not a felony. It's actually a misdemeanor. That's trespassing. And with him being an officer, he should take a little bit more care in what he's saying, because entering a dwelling again is nothing more than a misdemeanor. It's trespassing. You probably won't even go to jail for it.
Articulating in the court of law that they have intent, that they have seen him go in multiple times. He was running the day of. There was stuff stolen from the residence.
And what's so crazy, he is saying that they seen him go in and out of there before. They've seen numerous people going in and out of there before. Numerous people have been going in and out of that house, checking it out, from kids to white people to Ahmaud Arbery. And this guy is just making it seem like that it's just Ahmaud Arbery going in and out of there. And he also stated that stuff was stolen from that property before, and that is false. I'm watching the case I'm in the middle of watching the case right now, and the guy that owned the house said that no one has ever stolen anything out of that dwelling. But let's continue.
Building their argument that is reasonable or probable suspicion that he is a part of a felony crime of burglary, especially because there's multiple calls in the area. They see him on camera multiple times, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but you have to steal something. Like I said, and this is going to be the end of me using Officer Tatum, because I want to pull up another clip that I'm going to probably take a little bit of time trying to find, but it's almost as if he already have in his mind what he wants the outcome to be, because he's not giving a full synopsis on that Georgia law. He's just trying to make it seem like all you need to do is just think somebody's doing something and you can go regulate. But I think I found the clip that I'm looking for. This clip is actually from the live court proceedings, and it's gonna show you a little bit more about claiming that he is burglarizing the place, you know? So let me go ahead and let me switch the screen back.
And Matt is Mr. Albenze?
Yes.
And you said he may have broken in.
Correct.
He may have broken in, so he does not have immediate knowledge right there. He's saying he may have broken in. That's speculation right there. That's not immediate knowledge. That's speculation. Saying somebody may have broken in somewhere. And let's continue.
And then you said maybe Larry English is over on his property.
Yes.
There you go with that maybe again. That maybe you have to have immediate knowledge that a felony has been committed or it being committed in your presence. These are all speculatory terms.
And later you indicated that you thought that maybe Mr. Arbery had been caught.
Yes.
Maybe, there go that maybe word again. That don't sound like you have immediate knowledge that something has happened or something has happened in your presence in order for you to make that citizen's arrest. But let's continue.
And then you said that you thought maybe he was trying to get away from the police.
Yes, ma'am.
But you hadn't heard any sirens or anything in the neighborhood.
Not yet, no, ma'am.
Bear with her. She's taking her sweet time. I was like, man, what the hell is your next thing you're gonna say when I was watching it earlier? But I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Just bear with her though.
So I want to talk to you about some of the legal terms that you used yesterday, okay? All right, so first I want to talk to you kind of about probable cause, all right?
Here goes that word, probable, that Officer Tatum mentioned. So she's going to speak with him about probable cause or probable suspicion, however way you want to twist it.
And you testified yesterday that you'd been trained in the military for the Coast Guard, that even when you had arrest powers, before you could arrest somebody,
he was trained in the military, so he was in the Coast Guard, so he was probably like the military police in the Coast Guard, and he has to know what probable cause is. But let's go ahead and continue.
you needed probable cause, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And you even gave the jury the definition of probable cause, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You said it was a level of suspicion by a reasonable and prudent person, given the overall circumstances, to believe a crime has been committed.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. But that's really only half the definition, isn't it?
That's what I was taught. And
Look, that's what they taught me. They only told me that part, miss. They didn't tell me everything else. That you was a military police. You're supposed to know this, homie.
there's that definition right there.
So, isn't it correct that, let me ask it this way. Didn't you learn from your training that you need two parts?
Reasonable suspicion first, and then probable cause.
So, isn't it true from your training that you need two parts of probable cause? You need probable cause that a crime has actually been committed, and that the person you're arresting is the one who committed the crime.
That would be correct.
All right.
Probable cause that a crime has been committed. That's having either immediate knowledge, like Georgia law says, or actually seeing the person do it in front of you. But let's continue.
But you left out the second part, that you actually have to have probable cause that the person you're arresting is actually the one committing the crime.
That makes sense. I mean, that was the person that I assumed that was committing the crime. That was the probable cause was him.
The probable cause was him. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how was he the probable cause? Just because he's in your presence makes him suspicious somehow? And why is that, Mr. McMichael? Is it because of how you feel about black people deep down inside? Is that what it is, Mr. McMichael? Is that why just Ahmaud Arbery's presence alone was suspicious to you? That bitch sure be writing down some shit on her damn paper. I bet on the very front paper it's like probably like a happy face. She draw like a happy face and some something stupid on there.
So you assumed he was the one committing the crime?
Yes.
Alright, so you agree that as law enforcement, when you were there in the military as a boarding officer, that even if you know a crime is committed, when you have several suspects, you can't just go and arrest the first suspect. You have to actually have evidence that that person is the one who committed that crime, correct?
See, you gotta have evidence that the person has committed the crime, so that's immediate knowledge, or they did it right in front of you.
That's correct, and I believe I had it with the videos that I have seen with him, with Mr. Arbery being the one that has been there multiple times.
Yeah, he is on video being there multiple times, but you know one thing he's not on video doing? Stealing anything.
What I witnessed on the 11th, with him sneaking through those yards, or through that yard, and then the way that he reacted to me when I put the lights on him, reacted like he was going for a gun, and then went into that house.
Oh, he had a gun. The nigga had a gun. He had a gun. He was acting like he had a gun. So I knew I had to shoot him, right?
After we had our altercation, and then Mr. Albenzi being there that same evening and verified that that on the video is the same guy that he's seen, and then seeing Mr. Albenzi pointing down the road led to probable cause, and then Dad saying that was the same individual, the probable cause that it is
the same individual that entered the dwelling, which is a misdemeanor. The law states that a felony has to be committed, not a misdemeanor. You can't citizen arrest somebody for a misdemeanor, sir.
The guy that has been in that house that been breaking into and stuff has been stolen. So the overall, the totality of everything led me to
the totality of everything. What, he was a nigger, he was running. I seen him before going inside the abandoned house, so it's up to me to go get him. But let's continue.
Down there and see if that was him.
So the totality of all of that led you to go see if that was him.
Yes.
Meaning the guy you see.
See if that was him. He's digging a hole deeper and deeper for himself. He's digging a hole deeper and deeper for himself. I don't know if you guys noticing this. He's digging the hole, but let's continue.
Correct.
All right, so you used the word totality of the circumstances a whole bunch here, haven't you?
Yes, I guess. Yes,
All right. So let's go ahead and back up for a second. You had your gun stolen, correct?
I did.
On January 1st, 2020.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had a suspect in mind for that theft of that gun, correct?
Yes, when I got the videos from Ms. Perez, Diego, looking through, there was a truck that came through that I haven't seen in the neighborhood before. And after looking at the
Was Ahmaud in that truck?
I thought that it might have been some teenagers that I would see on that part of the county, and it turned out that it was a neighbor on the other side, and that was as far as I went with that.
Oh, so your white neighbor pretty much stole your gun out of your car, and you didn't want to pursue that, but you see a nigga in your neighborhood, you go pursue him. Okay. Sounds like when the felony burglary of his car happened, he didn't try to do a citizen's arrest on that, even though he had immediate knowledge of the person on the other street stealing it. And it's odd how he thought it was okay to do a citizen's arrest on a guy that committed a misdemeanor, which is walking into a dwelling, unoccupied dwelling, trespassing. But let's continue.
Who's David Sorrells?
I have no idea.
The Black Lives Matter guy.
Really?
So,
He's not a Facebook friend of yours?
I believe.
Would it help to refresh your recollection if you looked at some of your Facebook posts that you shared with Mr. Sorrells?
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead and take a look at this.
Sounds like she's catching him in a lie, but I kind of want to go ahead and fast forward through some of this real quick. Let me see if I can find the spot. I do want to fast forward past a little bit of this, because there is a point that I wanted to go with this. So let me fast forward it here, and then we're going to go ahead and continue. I'm not sure if this is the actual spot, so let's just bear with me. Let's bear with me and let it roll a little bit.
Reach like that to his pants?
No. That's...
And then you indicated I immediately put my car in reverse and the individual went into the house under construction, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me give a little backstory on this, because I watched this earlier. They're talking about another time where he's seen Ahmaud Arbery, or someone that looks like Ahmaud Arbery, entering that unoccupied dwelling.
And that was... Oh. All right, can everybody see now? Okay. And that was the publishing of State's Exhibit 120, the video clip entitled Video MP4.
Just bear with it. I know it's a drag, but bear with it a little bit.
Is that your car pulling down?
It is, yes, ma'am.
Look, there's something to steal right there. There goes some machinery right there. I'm sure you can take that to the pawn shop and get some money off of it. Even this stand right here, I'm sure you can take that to the pawn shop. If there's a ladder in there, there's things to take in there. But for some reason, he's not taking anything. fast forward a little bit of it.
A backpack with him?
He did not.
Any sort of bag with him?
Not at that time.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the part. Let me back up a little bit. This is the part right here.
Now right here. Mr. Arbery have anything in his hands?
Not I could see, no ma'am.
Have a backpack with him?
He did not.
Any sort of bag with him?
Not at that time, no.
You understand why she's asking those questions, right? She's asking, does he have anything in his hand? Does he have a bag with him? Does he have a backpack with him? Because when people go to burglarize places, they typically bring things so they can put things in so they can get as much things as possible. Do he have any of those things? No, which is why she's asking, which will lead to what would give you reasonable, probable suspicion that he committed a felony. But let's continue.
He's wearing a big long t-shirt, isn't he?
Yes.
And shorts cut off at the knees.
I think they were cargo shorts. But
And he's got running shoes on.
I can't tell.
See the Nike logo swoosh in the reflection?
No ma'am.
That's a straight reach. How's she gonna try to get somebody to see that? And it's blurry as fuck. But let's continue.
Back it up, right? See it then?
No ma'am.
That was State's Exhibit 117.
Their kind of fast food?
Yeah, as I let this ad pass, it's just like, are you guys like really seeing what's going on here? Y'all are y'all grasping what like really is going on right here? Like, she is like basically trying to set up a net for him to go into so she can just grab it and say, I got you. But let's go ahead and continue. The ad is done. Maybe I need to invest in YouTube Premium so this don't happen.
Now, that particular evening, you've seen the body cam video of Officer Rash, is that correct?
Yes ma'am.
And Officer Rash told you and told your father that Larry English said Mr. Arbery had never taken or stolen anything from the open unsecured construction site.
Booyah. There you go, Mr. Officer Tatum. The owner of the home said Ahmaud Arbery never stole anything. As many times as he went inside of that unoccupied dwelling, he never stole anything.
My understanding was never saw him take anything from there.
Never, I didn't see him, but he's a nigger, so I'm sure he took something. They always do, basically.
No, never saw anything taken.
Okay. And Larry English actually had never had anything stolen from the open unsecured construction site.
Booyah, no one has stolen anything out of that. There you go, Officer Tatum. So, Mr. Officer Tatum, you was wrong, man. You was wrong, and you need to correct this. You was an officer. We look at you as a person that is supposed to be knowledgeable of the law, and that is very, very thoroughly knowledgeable of the law, and it don't seem like that you provide that. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. I just wanted to point that out. Mr. Officer Tatum, he want to play like he's trolling and saying he was wrong, but he was actually wrong. It's the Gold Mike Podcast, where the mic is gold, and this is a podcast. I'm your host, Mark Paul, and I'm out.